Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. Today we're serving up this old Christmas tree tumbler tutorial. So let's get to it. So we're starting off with this cute vinyl from the Risky Tumbler and also a 16-ounce travel mug from the Steel Magnolia. Alright, so let's get to this wrap. Now don't be scared, don't be scared. This may be the hardest part, but you're going to get it. So I just make sure I line up that vinyl with a little excess kind of hanging over like on top of the handles. What I'm going to do when I get it centered the way I want to, I make slits as close to that handle as possible. I cut down and then I push the excess down. Once that's done, I just take that pointy part of my craft knife and I run it alongside the handle, taking the excess off. So now we're going to wrap that vinyl around the tumbler. I like to use my scraper, but you can use your hand, whatever is easiest for you. This vinyl was super easy to work with. Anytime I needed to maneuver it to get any air bubbles out, I was able to do that without any issues and put it back where I needed it to be. So once I get this vinyl wrapped around, I'm going to make sure that it is flushed up against the handle. Then I'm going to cut off that excess. Once the excess is cut off, I'm going to take my craft knife. I'm going to make some slits in it like I did on the other side with well, actually, I'm going to do it with the scissors. And then I'm going to start making some slits with my craft knife. And I'm going to do it just like I did when I initially put the vinyl on. I make sure that I press that vinyl up against that handle so it doesn't leave any gaps when I'm making those cuts. So now we're just going to cut that excess, that hangover vinyl off. I'm going a little on the side of that seam. Then I'm going to use some painter's tape. So I place that painter's tape on side that seam. I want a little overlap. So we're going to take that excess off and then work on taking the other excess off. So I do that by wrapping it with my painter tape so I can have that as a guide. So I normally like to pour my excess over the top of the cup, but here I didn't have a lot to do that. So I just take the bottom edge of my craft knife as close as I can and get that excess off. So let's get into this glitter. This is Peppermint from Rae Creations. It's an opal iridescent glitter with a little red. It has some stars and it also has some tinsel. It is perfect for this cup. So I love to use the epoxy method. So that is my preferred method to apply glitter. I did put my painter's tape a little over because I had the spray paint had dripped. So we're going to cover that up. I really focus on getting the handle because it's easy to miss spots on the handle. I would also suggest that you don't be like Kia and wrap the whole tumbler with painter's tape just so you don't get any of, that excess epoxy on your vinyl because I did that and it was a mess to get off. All right, so once we're all glittered, we're just going to tap that excess glitter off. I like to also take a piece of my parchment paper and press that glitter down because it does have those 4-point stars and that tinsel. It's going to stick up a lot on you. So you want to ensure that you press that down so that it is easy. Make it easy for yourself when you get ready to go epoxy. I'm going to do the same thing on the handle. Another suggestion I do have is that if you don't want to have to scream and cry with this chunky glitter on the handle, use a finer cut glitter. It will make the process of epoxying and sanding so much easier. So I did two good coats of epoxy and I sanded really well. We're adding the vinyl on top of a sanded tumbler. Um, I'm using Teckwrap. This is Satin Red. I'm sorry, y'all. Some of this is out of frame because I was really trying to maneuver with this vinyl and get it on, and I kept moving it out of frame. So I do apologize. And then we're going to go in and make it festive with some wave lines. These wave lines are from Made by Manny and Mel. I did purchase these off Etsy. I'm going to leave everything I use in the description box. I did not measure like in between the lines. I just kind of guesstimated, and if I liked the way it looked, I went with it. So when placing this vinyl, I did just go with the natural curve and flow of the wave. I did maneuver just a little bit so I can get the look that I was going for, but it was really easy to work with. So I was thinking about stopping here, and I probably should have, but then I added the fourth line. So it's really up to you what you want to do. I would just make sure that you have sanded really well on that bottom edge of the tumbler because you know that's a trouble spot. So you can either do 3 or 4 lines. I do really like it with the 4 lines, but if I was smart, I probably would have stopped at 3. So this decal I made myself in Fonto, but I do apologize because I went to go record how I made it, how I used it, and I didn't save my original one. So I don't know what font I used, and I couldn't figure it out to save my life. So I'm going to do a separate tutorial once I can figure out what I did, and so that you can either make this for yourself, or I suggest maybe going on Creative Fabrica or Etsy to find a similar decal. I did do like a double offset too with this decal. So I will show you how I did that as well. All right, so now it's time to add that decal. I place it like I'm holding the cup in my right hand, so that's the side that I place the decal on. Make sure you press down firmly so nothing lifts during the epoxying process. We're also going to use some quick coat over this to ensure that the vinyl doesn't lift. You do not want to have to remove any of that vinyl if it comes up. So this process right here is very important. And this is a thin layer. You don't want to use too much. So when I did this tumbler, I did do a thin coat of epoxy on here prior to adding the dots, just because I wasn't sure if I was going to like them or not, and I wanted to be able to erase them easily if I didn't. But I really did end up liking it. So once you put that quick coat on and it dries for about 30 minutes, I would just go in and add those dots. So once that dried, I went in and added a layer of fast setting epoxy. We're going to add a little bit of that peppermint by using the pinch method. So for me, the key when doing the pinch method is using small amounts of glitter because I don't want it to take over the vinyl. I just want to add a little sparkle to some of the places that are kind of empty. Add a little razzle dazzle, you know. So now I'm going to go in with my torch and pop any bubbles. So this tumbler is still a work in progress, but since it came out so cute, I could not wait to get it to you. So if you like this video and you like this tutorial, please subscribe to my channel and like this video. Follow me on all social platforms. And again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll check y'all later.